Hello, welcome to my channel for Evolved Humans. I'm Ms. Day. Sorry. So, very first thing, I was like thinking of a song from Practical Magic. And it's when Nicole Kidman's driving home to see her sister. And she's like singing, "Still I would be on my feet, I would still be on my feet." And I feel like whoever you are, it's like, no matter what comes, I feel like you have this youth, this young outlook. I feel like, I don't mean physically young, I just mean this free, like, no matter what, you just have this free spirit, and you're just gonna like find ways to love living. Like, no matter what you go through, you're like, whatever, even if I'm going to be okay. This is crazy. It also made me think of this preacher that I listened to a long time ago, and it was like, not that long ago. It was something really cool, and they said that whenever you're like getting scared and you're nervous and you're uncomfortable and you don't know what to do, and you think to yourself like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? To tell yourself, even if that happens, you're going to be okay. It's like, that was coming in with that song. It's like you have a free spirit and you're also terrified, because whoever you are, I feel like you have this huge capacity and this huge like intuitive side where you've got abilities, you have the ability to use what it is that makes you feel like, your own flow. And I feel like you have this excitement of a child about it. When I say the excitement of a child, I feel like that's what we all actually start with, when we're really excited about like the changing of the seasons, and we're really excited about what it smells like when you go outside when the seasons are changing, that nostalgic feeling. It's like, when that stuff is fun, that's another part of this. I feel like someone in these readings, someone who's going to see this one especially, you need to allow yourself to have an imaginative side again. It's like, I know it's there, and I know you enjoy certain creations of other people's, but I feel like they're telling you, use your imagination and start creating. Even rough drafts are creating. This is something where like, I feel like this is making me think of when a kid is afraid at first to do a warm-up in music class. Like, they're afraid to do a singing warm-up if somebody else is going to hear them. And it's like, but if they don't do that warm-up, then they're not going to sound the way that they like to hear them. I know that sounds a little weird, but it's like, the practicing is creating. There is no end game when it comes to creation and the creation process. So like, if you're feeling locked up, you've got to do something with it. You've got to like maneuver your hands, like start messing with your mind or throwing things out with your own mouth. And I feel like some of you have this way of kind of silencing when you get those creative juices flowing, because almost like a stiff feeling, like you don't know what to do with it. And then some of you, I feel like you're like, well, I'm going to do something with it. And it's like you can't get your own view out of the box that you feel like you're stuck in. It's like you can't get your view out of it, even though your creative process is bigger than the box. And you know it. So, because this one started as like free moving spirit. I feel like your energy and who you are, it's meant to come up and not go down. And whoever you are too, I feel that you have a tendency to kind of box yourself in socially maybe, or even just with your own self. Because I feel like you might have a group of people you're cool with, but there's something about this energy that you're just like kind of almost turn inward, and you're not, it's a habit. And I feel like that's because you've had good connections in your life and maybe you've lost them. And I think that it made you feel solid on your own. Solid in the fact that you could count on you and no one else maybe. And I do feel like going forward, there's like this ability that you have to lock yourself up. And they want you to know that you don't need to be afraid. It's like your ability to hold yourself back, you fought through that. whoever you are, you have survived situations that I feel like could have kind of knocked other people into submission. And I do feel like you have conquered those by coming out with your mind and with clarity. And that can really piss some people off. So like that's a neat part of this reading. And I do think that like your imagination and your creative juices flowing, it's a part of your health. It's a part of your balance. And I feel like some of you may almost block it off because you just don't think it fits into the time that you're in or the phase of life that you're in right now. Like, oh yeah, kids do that. Oh yeah, young people do that. And I feel like there are people in this reading that you need to recognize that your energy is a kid, and really in the most positive, awesome way. It's like I feel like the universe is like, no, play. Like you need to, when you do that, when you act on this, you are growing. Like it's actually a part of your maturing process is you continuing that journey. That's an example for others around you. So it's interesting because of the way that I feel like you had a light and you had a comfort in your own self for a while in your youth. And I think that getting broken and hurt, it made you fear letting people in and letting that out. It's almost like a two-way street that got stopped there. And so going into your next phase, they're like saying, okay, now you're actually ready. You're healed. You've matured. You've grown. You've learned a lot. And they're like, now you get to apply it in this new place that you're going. But you have this immense ability to lock yourself up when you get scared or when you're worried that you're going to get hurt again. And I feel like there is a feeling there. It's almost like whenever you get scared, it's like you can hear your own voice very loudly and then their voice gets very quiet. Where it's like you kind of lose them saying, like your guides are telling you that we've got you, this is it, good job, look what you're doing. And then it's like they get quieted by your own, ability to survive. That sounds kind of harsh, but I'm just saying like sometimes it's this getting yourself out of your own box. It's a box they put you in and your spirit didn't go down, but your human developed habits because of it. And it's like they're wanting you to know your spirit is in free creation mode and it's ready for the next step and it's out to play. And then your human is like, oh, when I reach this one spot where I have to keep that opening while creating, while being my own, friend, and like being a creative person. You are a free and knowing spirit like person. I keep wanting to call you spirit. That's so neat because I do feel like that's a huge message. I just keep wanting to say it's just sitting in the back of my mind all the time. In these readings, it's like I just want to say like you are spirit. Spirit is you. When we're talking with past loved ones or when the past loved ones come through, it's like it connects to something somewhere, even if we don't see the connection. And so when we get to speak and we get to use this vehicle, when we reach these blocks, it's like it's personal that we have these blocks, but it's like it's a gift that you have the spirit that you have. I just keep wanting to call you spirit in this reading. It's like you literally have that crazy divinity flowing in you and it won't stop, and it won't stop as long as you're here. So they're like, but your human can still stop it when it gets afraid of being hurt again. So whoever you are, you're a professional blocker. And it's like when you're a creative person, you have to fight. You are your biggest battle. So that's what this message going forward is like. Because of what happened in the past, don't let that stop you, because that is the only block that's the only block you're going to come up against. It's just what can happen in you. You can stop yourself if you get scared. So they're trying to prepare you for that moment, that fear that starts to bubble up. Conquer your vehicle. You are spirit. Connect with spirit. Ask for them to raise you up and to let you help you fight through that temptation to block it and stop and call it all off. Whew. Okay. I just feel like, too, if you have this tendency to go down, like I just keep wanting to say, like, sit up, look up, let yourself just kind of like flow back up here, because when we get scared, we kind of go down. When we get like depressed or sad, sometimes we have a tendency to physically act the way that we feel on the inside, like we kind of portray it on the outside. So start noticing what you're doing when you're starting to feel these moments of fear, or if you're starting to block. Be like, am I even looking up throughout my day? Interesting. That's a very interesting thing I just keep thinking about. And I do feel like your motion as your actual self, the way that you can fill your vehicle, is very upright. Like the word upright feels like the way that you actually carry yourself. So when you get scared, that's your kryptonite moment. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that's helpful. So whatever it is that you like to do, like, don't leave it in the past. It's a part of you. If you enjoyed it once, you'll enjoy it now. Even if it's a mess when you like practice this creation stuff, just do it. That's creation. Okay. So I hope you have a really great night. And if you feel like the readings resonate with you, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Allow for notifications for future videos as they're uploaded. And I will see you in the next reading. Okay, bye.